Hello students, welcome again. Welcome to the series of lectures physics. In last 2-3 classes we discussed about the concepts of rest and motion. We discussed how rest and motion is a relative concept. We also discussed the essentials. We must have to discuss the motion, that was object, observer and a dedicated class for frame of reference. We also learned distance and displacement. I hope you all have gone through the lectures and you have learned the concepts. Now, if we want to move further, we must have some mathematical tools. We must have some mathematical concepts that you haven't studied till now, and it is related to the calculus, that is the differentiation and integration. You have to study it in details in your mathematics syllabus, but to discuss something in physics, we must have such concepts and we have to learn it. Because without having the concepts of all these things, we cannot move ahead, because mathematics is going to work as the tools when we are studying physics. So see, you all are very much known about average value. How do we find out the average? We all are very much familiar with it. But today, we are going to introduce a new concept. You must have the idea, that is the instantaneous. So, we have to differentiate between average and instantaneous value. When we talk about average, we think about a finite changes. Suppose if we talk about the change in temperature of a day, so just start from 6 am to 6 pm, 12 hours. So 6 am, suppose the temperature of your locality is 31 degrees centigrade. At 7 am, it gets increased to 32. Likewise, at 12 pm, it is 40 degrees centigrade, and so on. At 6 pm, it is suppose 37 degrees centigrade. So, if you want to find out the average, what you do? You add the temperature of all these 12 hours and divide it by 12. So, the range is 12 hours. It's a finite range, and in this finite range you are easily able to find out the average value. But suppose if somebody asks you, what is the temperature at 1 pm? He is strictly talking about 1 pm at a particular instant of time. So in physics, there is a concept where we have to learn the instantaneous value. So instantaneous doesn't mean a finite changes. Doesn't mean a finite changes. It talks about a very, 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 very small change, like a point, like an instant. If we talk about 1 hour, it has 60 minutes. Each minute has 60 seconds. We can also divide seconds in a fraction of seconds, milliseconds, microseconds. So when we are talking not about 1 hour, that is not a width here, we are talking about a particular point, and we have to find out the value of anything at that particular point. Suppose you are in motion, we are driving your bike, and you drove it for 10 minutes. So definitely during the 10 minutes of your journey, at each and every minute your speed is not constant. It may change, it may be 0, it may be the highest value, it may be between 0 and your highest value. So suppose at that point some of your friends asked you, what is your speed when you drop for 4 minutes? At the instant of 4 minutes, what is the value? So we have to learn this concept. See how we are able to apply this concept in physics, and that is very much essential to learn, because it will be used throughout of your career. So see, when we talk about average, we talk about only the finite change. When it comes to average, it denotes finite change. We think finite change, and that is denoted by delta. This is written as delta, and it denotes the finite change. Suppose if we write delta y, it means we are talking about y2 minus y1, means two values of y. Difference of two values of y is denoted as delta y. It's a finite change. Y2 has some specific value, y1 is also having some specific value. So we are talking about finite change. So when we talk about finite change, it gives the denotation delta, and we talk about average value. But see, when we talk about instantaneous, we think at a particular point. Means at an instant. Anything. If we talk about time, it may be at any particular instant of time. If we talk about distance, it may be at a particular position. If we talk about the velocity, at particular velocity. Someone asks you what was the acceleration, how much distance the particle has traveled till now, how much time it has taken to reach at this particular point. So when we talk about point, we give it instantaneous. So the finite change and the instantaneous change. So definitely, if anything going to vary, that is variable. If the value of anything is not constant, that has to be a variable. That is a simple constant. And when we talk about variable, we can divide it into two parts. What are they? First one is independent variable. And the second one is the dependent variable. So independent variable means what? Independent variable means a variable which value does not depend on other variable. Suppose if you are talking about time, time does not depend on other variable. It keeps changes always. It keeps increasing, it keeps changing, it's moving ahead. So time is not a constant. Time is changing, but it is also, in the meantime, it is not dependent on others. So here we shall term it as independent variable. And when we talk about dependent, means any variable which value is dependent on other variable. For the sake of, you have studied quadratic equation in your class 10 syllabus. Suppose I write y equal to ax square plus bx plus c. In this equation, what we mean? We mean that there are two values of x for which there is a particular value of y, or vice versa, we can say that for a particular value of y, there are two possible values of x always, because the power to this variable is 2, x to the power 2. It means that the particular quadratic equation has two solutions always. Now, in the other equation, when we write y equal to ax plus b, it also shows something. It's a quadratic equation, it's a linear equation. So what do we mean when we say that it's a quadratic equation? What do we mean when we say that it's a linear equation? Sometimes we will say that it's a parabolic equation. Sometimes we can show that it represents a circle, it represents a hyperbola, it represents a straight line, it represents a parabola. There are so many shapes, there are so many equations. There are so many relations that can be established between two variables, or in sometimes we may have more than two variables. So now we are talking about two variables because it is easy to explain with the help of these two variables. What is this? This is y and this is x. There are two variables always, and value of y is dependent of x. If we change the value of x, the value of y automatically gets changed in this equation. In this equation, we are talking about this particular equation because y is written in terms of x. So when x changes, y also changes. In the first equation, there are two values of x for a particular value of y, but in the next equation, y equals to ax plus b, there is a single value of y for a single value of x. So in this way, these two variables are related to each other. There exists a mutual relation between these two variables. What is these mutual relations? We have to give a name of it. Because if we talk about the variable, the values keep changing. And when values keep changing, the values keep changing with a particular logic, with a particular rule. It does not mean that it keeps changing without any logic, without any rule. No, that does not happen. That does not happen. So we have to establish a relation. Not we have to establish a relation because a relation is already established between these two variables. We have to find out. So what is this? When we talk about these two variables, means one is independent, value depends on other. We can write that values depend on others. So independent variable, values, sorry, just a minute. Do not depend on others. Here, values depend on others. So we have two variables. So now, when we talk about this, we are going to deal. We are actually explaining there is a relation between y and x. There is a relation between y and x. So, see how we can write it easily. We can write it easily. How? So we should talk about variable independent and that is dependent if a relation exists between two variables, concept dependent and independent. The name of relation between these variables is known as function. Is known as means when the values are going to change. So if one value of variable is changed, the other variable also gets changed. How? Just see a simple example. Suppose example, if we take example y equals to ax square plus bx. A, B, C are constant and y and x are variable. So if we change the value of x, y will automatically get changed. If we change the value of x, value of y automatically gets changed. So there is a relation between x and y, and that is known as function. That is known as function. So name of relation between the two variables is known as function. So when we study function, what we write? We can write here y is a function of x. We denote it in this manner. Read it as y as a function of x. So y as a function of x. So when y as a function of x, so x changes, y also changes. So my only way is to convey you that for each and every relation, if exists a relation, each and every relation has a particular name, and that particular name is known as a function. So when there is a relation, there is a function, because suppose we have some relations in our home, brother relation, father-son relation, mother-son relation, husband-wife relation, daughter-father relation, son-father relation. So you see that when exists a relation, there is a function. Father has some specific roles to play with the son or daughter. Husband has some specific roles to play with wives. Wives have some specific role to play with husband. Teachers have some role to play with students, because there is a relation between teacher and student. Teacher and student's relation exists there. That's why teacher come to gives the lecture and student listen it, grasp it. So when there is a relation, there is a function. We have to study that particular function. This is known as quadratic equation. That is the function. What is the name of relation? Quadratic. So quadratic equation is a function. When we come about y equal to suppose x plus b, it's a linear equation. So linear equation, here is also a function, y is also a function of x. So y is function of x means what? When x changes, y automatically gets changed. So in this way we have to study something and we have to learn something. Now see here how we can deal with. Suppose two variables, there are two variables. One is x, another is y. In class 10 we have studied two equations, linear equation and quadratic equation. When we talk about linear equation, what happens? It denotes a straight line. It denotes a straight line. It's y equals to ax plus b. It's a relation. It's a relation. When we talk about this type of relation, this has also to do something. We can also write in some of mathematical form. When we write it, suppose in this way, it denotes y equals to x squared. You can see easily here. There is a particular value of x. For one value of x, there is only one value of y. But here you can see, for two value of x, there is one value of y. Definitely it is. See this point and this point. This is the value of y. This is x. Suppose this is x1. This is x2. So for x1 and x2, there exists a single value of y. So when x1 and x2 change, suppose this point, when we talk about this point, x1 and x2 change it. So when these two change it, y also changes. So in this way, there is a relation. Now, when we talk about this particular bandwidth, this particular gap, x2, x1, y2, y1, so this is a finite. So when we talk about finite, this denotes the average. And now, when we talk about the particular point, suppose this is the change. So this is here, if it is x1, y1, and here x2, y2. So what is the change in y coordinate? What is the change in y coordinate here? This particular distance is y2 minus y1. That is delta y. And when we talk about this, this is x2 minus x1. That is delta x. So this is the finite changes. This is not talking about a particular point. This is a finite changes. That's why we have written it x2 minus x1. That is delta x. Here it is a finite changes. That's why we have written it y2 minus y1. But suppose when somebody asks you this particular point, it's an instant. So when we talk about a particular point, we are not talking about gap. So it denotes the instantaneous. That we have discussed. So see how we are able to find out the instantaneous value. Average value we are easily able to find out, but now we want to find out the average value, and now we can find out it easily. Just see how we are able to calculate these things. How we are able to calculate these things. So now we have got the equation of y equals to fx, where y is the function of x. So definitely there exists a relation between y and x. One of them will be dependent and another will be independent variable. So the name of relation between two variables, one is dependent and another is independent, that is known as the function. So if there is the variable and the relation exists, then there only be a function. So we have seen the function. Now see here, y is the function of x. For the relation between y and x, there is a function. When x changes, value of y gets changed. So y is the function of x, meaning that y is totally dependent on x. When the value of x is changing, the value of y keep changing itself. So we have to learn the concept of differentiation here. How do we define differentiation? So if y is a function of x, then y is a function of differentiation of y with respect to x is denoted as dy by dx. It is differentiation of y with respect to x in this way. Y can be anything. Y can be an algebraic equation. Suppose, example, y equals to x square plus 2. Then dy by dx means differentiation of y with respect to x. We shall write it dx square plus 2 by dx. In this way we shall write it. We shall write it in this way. But now we have to learn what will be the answer. What will be the result of dy by dx x square plus 2? That we have to find out here, and we are actually doing that. We are actually on the good path to see the result of dy by dx, where x can be anything. X can be sine, x can be cos, algebraic equation, logarithmic equation, exponential equation, trigonometric equation, anything. It can be, but see how do we find out the value of dy by dx and what is the physical meaning of dy by dx. So that we have to learn here in this concept. So now see, when we see the differentiation, how do we think about it? Then we can find out the instantaneous value. So now see, what is the value? If y equals to fx is a function. So now suppose when we talk about y equals to fx, we are talking about what? X and y, two variables are there. We have denoted this is 0. And now consider that this is the value, changing value. In this way it keeps changing. At any point x1 and x2, the value is y1 and y2. So the coordinate of this point is definitely x1 or y1, and the coordinate of this point is x2, y2. No doubt. x2, y2. It is clear? So now when we talk about the change, so change in y, if we talk about this, what is the change in y? So see this line, this is the line, so when x1 the value is y1 and when this is x2 the value is y2. So change in y equals to y2 minus y1. That is change in y, delta y. Now we shall write delta y. When we talk about delta y, it denotes change in y. Delta y equals to y2 minus y. In the same way, change in x equals to x2 minus x1. It means delta x equals to x2 minus x1. So if we talk about average change in y with respect to x, what will be? So change in y with respect to x. What is this? Delta y by delta x, and it is called average change. It is delta y by delta x, which denotes the change in y with respect to x. But now suppose this is the finite change. We have discussed it, the finite change. When we talk about finite change, then we take the concept delta. So this is a finite change. What is the change? Change is this. Now suppose we have to approach to a single point. We have to approach to a single point where we have to find out the value, means instantaneous value. Suppose we are talking about this particular point. At this particular point, at this particular point we have to find the changes. So how will we do? From there we see that this is the value of x. Now if you see another line, so this change will be minimum. This is the changes. When we keep, this is the changes. So when we are approaching this point, what is this? This value is very, very small. Means when we talk about this value, it means x is very small. X is very small with respect to change in y is very small. It is not 0, but it is approaching towards 0. Change is, that is when we talk about x2 minus x1. When we talk about x2 minus x1, it is appreciable changes. But when we talk about the very small changes, that is that part, very small changes, that means we are talking about a point. So when we are talking about a point, it will become an instantaneous. जब किसी भी हम एक सिंगल पॉइंट की बात करेंगे तो क्या हो जाएगा, ये इंस्टेंटेनियस हो जाएगा. तो हम लोगों ने लिखा चेंज. तो अब क्या है कि जब ये चेंज बहुत स्मॉल होगा, क्या होगा, बहुत स्मॉल होगा. For instantaneous value we have to take a small changes. So what we shall write, just see. What we have, average change is equal to delta y by delta x. So now suppose when delta x means what? Tends to 0, means x2 minus x1 tends to 0, means x2 and x1 approaches same value. तो जब x2 और x1 दोनों एक सेम वैल्यू को अप्रोच करेगा तो डेफिनेटली x2 माइनस x1 बहुत ज्यादा छोटा होगा. It has to be a very small. We understand it very small. So at this point, when delta x tends to 0, this is delta x tends to 0 means that x2 minus x1, delta denotes the change. So change is 0. When change is 0, when two quantities are equal. But here x1 and x2 are two different quantity. They are not absolutely equal, but they are very, very, very closer to each other. Means they are very, very closer to that particular point. So when we talk about that particular point, it means delta x tends to 0. So limit delta x tends to 0 del y by del x. Now when we talk about limit delta x tends to 0 del y by del x, it is known as dy by dx. That we are trying to find out. That's why ये पूरा का पूरा डिस्कशन इसी इक्वेशन को लाने के लिए था. ये पूरा का पूरा डिस्कशन जो था वो इसी इक्वेशन को लाने के लिए था कि क्या लाना था हमको कि dy by dx. तो dy by dx का मतलब क्या हुआ कि लिमिट की जो डेल्टा y है और डेल्टा x है, तो जब डेल्टा x बहुत 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 ही ज्यादा छोटा होगा, मतलब 0 के करीब होगा, तो y में चेंजेस कैसा होगा, उसी चेंज को हम लोगों ने डिनोट किया है dy by dx. और इसी को हम लोग बोलते हैं डिफरेंशिएशन ऑफ y विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू x. मींस डिफरेंशिएशन ऑफ वन वेरिएबल विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू अदर वेरिएबल. ये इस तरीके से हम लोग निकालते हैं. अब इसकी फिजिकल मीनिंग के बारे में देखते हैं. इसका मीनिंग क्या होता है. फिजिकल मीनिंग ऑफ dy by dx. ये क्या होगा. ये तो पहला था एक पार्ट, इसको तो याद रखना है. दूसरा क्या है कि dy by dx की बात. अब जब यह पॉइंट देखिए, जब appreciable change x2 minus x1 था, when we talk about x2 minus x1, that is the appreciable change, and y2 minus y1, that is the change in y direction appreciable change, we get this line. If this change is less, we get this line, this line, this line. But when we talk about a point, when we talk about a single point, now we can remove all these things from here. Now when we talk about this particular point, it means this line, it means this line. These lines mean what? This is a straight line. So this line is what? This is tangent to that particular point. This is tangent to that particular point. So when we talk about dy by dx, it means at this point पे हम लोग निकालना चाहते हैं फिजिकल मीनिंग ऑफ dy by dx कि it denotes the tangent at the point where we want to find dy by dx. dy by dx. So if this is slope, means this is theta. So what is the value? This is y. Change in y is this. Change in x is this. So it denotes dy by dx means tan theta. That is dy by dx. So we can write it here. Now see, we can write from here easily कि dy by dx denotes slope of tangent. Slope of tangent. So slope of tangent at any point gives dy by dx.
So slope equal to what? Slope equal to delta y by slope equal to tan theta, means del y by del x or anything, or dy by dx or y by x. So dy by dx equals to tan theta, where theta is the angle made by the tangent at that point with x axis. ये थीटा क्या है? x axis से बनाया गया एंगल। तो जब x axis से बनाया गया एंगल होता है पॉइंट विथ x axis, so x axis dy by dx equal to tan theta. So we shall learn what is the value of dy by dx in this way. So now write it down and we shall learn some expression what is the value of dy by dx. So you can pause the video and write it down, then we shall write about dy by dx. So if we can just see if y equals to x to the power m, means x is the variable and m is the power, then dy by dx means what? What is x to the power n by dx? Its value is n. You multiply it with n and decrease one power. Decrease one power means nx n minus 1. If we talk about example, what is the example? Suppose you have to find y equals to x to the power 5. Then dy by dx,